I felt something.
Well, good evening. Ooh, Garrett's popcorn just popped up on my thing. They got a sale. Anyway, I'm sorry. Good evening, everybody. Elijah, how you doing, man? Let's invite and share. I don't know how people live in the deep south with these temperatures at 90 something. And I used to live in New Orleans, and the air is different there. I mean, like the air conditioner.
It's
It's
the
like
heat index. It's the heat
I'm saying
index.
the air just be like, whoo. Back in Detroit, it's like, ooh. But so I can't keep it on because it bothers my head and sinus. But now it's hot in here. I've had air on all day in Atlanta at 91 degrees and the index. But I can't take that air, man. Frank, you remember how the old preacher used to say, my grandfather used to say, that air hit my head.
Yeah.
Well, you
Yeah,
ain't
it's different.
you got hair. But that air be hitting your head, man. Anyway, y'all come on in. There's about 70 people here so far. Hey, Angelica. Well, somebody called you. I meant to teach you. Somebody called you Angelique. I'm like, you can't see that name, say Angelica. Welcome, everybody, though. Welcome to When the Right One Comes, the men's edition. I would call your mama, your auntie, your grandmama, your sister, your sister-in-law. Call all the women and tell them there's some guys. I want to know who's sharing this, and then I want to know who's here and it's your first time. You're a first-time visitor in the church. If you raise your hand, we got a gift that we're going to bring to you. We got something we're going to bring to your seat. Well, we're going to put it on the screen because we social distancing. Glad to have all of y'all. Glad to have all y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sharing is caring. Shared 7 times. Look at you. I need to know who's first time. Any first time folk on here. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to When the Right One Comes. I don't know if this is safe or not because on the Clubhouse they kind of attacked me. They kind of attacked me on Clubhouse, but it's good to have all of y'all. Week number 54.
Yes, sir.
Okay, is it 54?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Glad to have y'all on tonight. I'm your host, and hello, Shaniqua, prophetess. Everybody, come on in. Let me do what I told y'all. Let me invite and share. This is a conversation with all men giving their perspective. Men giving their perspective. Welcome, Cassandra Jerome. Man, her first time. Yay. Glad to have you. Who else is first time? Our first time visitors, we're going to put you up on the screen and celebrate you today for visiting. Thank you, Regina, for sharing. How y'all doing tonight? How y'all doing? Y'all doing okay? Come on in. Sharon is Karen. We've been going at this for 54 weeks. 54 weeks. Thank you. Who else is first time? Yeah, first time. Mika, please. Mika, you've been here all 60 weeks. We ain't did but 54, but you've been here 60. Welcome, Tori. Welcome, Tori. Glad to have you, first timer. We're not gonna put the mic in your face or ask you no questions in front of the congregation today. We just want to know if it's your first time. It would help us to know, how did you hear about the church? I mean, this show. How did you hear about it? Hello, 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 hello. Frank, did you say stop wasting lies? Is that a new term?
Yes.
Stop wasting lies. I don't think I never heard that. You've been around old people too long. Stop wasting lies.
Save it for something good.
Oh, okay. I promise you, I have never heard that. Roderick, you heard of that before?
I have not. That's new to me.
Stop wasting lies.
I'm gonna take that. I'll give you credit.
I came up with it, Bishop. You know, I come up with.
Oh,
stuff
that's
every now
your
and then.
original.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Okay. I don't believe it. It sounds like some of your grandfather.
No, I promise. I
okay.
really made it up.
Boy, stop wasting lies. Stop wasting lies. All right. Invite and share. We're almost at 200. Welcome, everybody. If this is your first time.
Low.
Where's my boy at? He ain't been here in a little while.
What are you talking about?
Your best friend. One of your friends.
Manaway or Con?
No, Connie. You know, Con liable to be on here and you don't even know it.
Manaway, he good.
She sure is.
What?
I was saying he sure is because he's a blessing.
He talking about Con.
We ain't talking about Con on that one. But yeah.
Water's in my cup. Thank you. Water.
Huh?
Somebody must have
asked
asked
what
Frank
was out.
he sipping.
Yeah. Water.
Uh-oh. What the prophet sipping over there?
It's just water, I promise. Dwayne must be in the airport.
He is. He's trying to come back and he's trying to get back in town.
Listen, we need everybody sharing. If you have not shared, I need you to share on Facebook. Share that link on YouTube. Make sure you are following all of us on Instagram as well. I believe all of us have our Instagram handle as our name. So make sure you're following us on Instagram tonight. Shout out to everybody coming in the room. Have you tagged anybody yet? Ready to have a good time. Shout out to my Linda in the back holding it down. Thank you for sharing, Mary. Bishop, you want me to shout out to everybody? You ready?
Go ahead. No. Yeah, go ahead. I thought you, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, I was waiting on you.
You know I ain't like that. Go ahead.
All right, so of course we are the brainchild of the one and only Bishop Gregory Davis. That's the man that just finished talking. We got some first timers on here tonight, so you need to know who birthed us. The one and only Bishop Gregory Davis birthed this particular show over a year ago now. But he's been doing When the Right One Comes for quite some time. But this show has been on for a year and 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks? A year and 2 weeks?
Yep.
A year and 2 weeks. So this is the second season you're tuned into. We just do a whole year for one season. That's how we get down on When the Right One Comes. Then next to him, we got one of the original Christian kings of comedy in the building. Brother Rice, say what's up, Roderick.
Hey, everybody.
Then in the airport, we got the one and only, my brother, Dwayne Williams. Say what's up, Dwayne, if we can hear you. Okay.
What
Okay,
up?
we
What
can
up?
hear you now. He's traveling, so we're working that out, but he's still with us tonight. We appreciate him. We got my brother Orrin Perry in the building, Candyman.
What's
himself.
up, man? What's up, everybody?
Good to see you. Then one and on the Bishop, bro, Antoine Jackson. Say what's up, Antoine.
What's up, family? How y'all doing?
Then we got the brother Herbert Johnson Jr. is in the building. We waiting on him to give us a third so we can call him Trey. We don't know if that's gonna happen no time soon. What's up, Johnson?
What's happening, family?
Then next to me, we got the one and only the Prophet. Claiborne, what's up, man? Your background's been boring here lately.
It's been. I just said it today too, bro. This is the last time I got to do some traveling. But what's
You
up,
must have got
family?
tired of us talking about you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I understand. You work like this sometimes. Then, of course, holding it down in the background, we got the one and only Linda Henry. I am Frank Ray III, a.k.a. Frankly Speaking, and I'm excited about this show tonight. It's going to be juicy, so I let Bishop take it from here. You ready, Bishop?
You don't have a
Thank
question?
you. Okay.
You don't have a question?
Oh,
No?
I don't. I don't. I thought. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, every week, man.
I mean, you know, I can always.
I mean, if you got one.
I'm surprised you don't want to talk about the crates.
Oh man, I'm so tired of them crates.
That's
What's
like
up
the
with
new, that's like the new party luxury thing.
What's up with the crates?
I'm gonna do it as soon as when I get home. Watch.
They ain't gonna. Hey, Frank. They ain't gonna
Well,
stop
I'm
till somebody get hurt real bad because it's just ridiculous.
All right, so this is a phone.
Shira says she loved the beach, Frank.
Thank
She
you,
said
Shira. Shira Lowe. This is Shira speaking. This is just
This is
Shira.
Shira speaking.
Only Shira speaking.
All right, so here's the question. What's something you would do even if you never made any money from it? What's something you would still do even if you never made any money from it?
make people laugh. I've been doing it for 34 years, and many times I don't get paid. And most times I get shortchanged.
My God.
I can't help myself.
But that's your passion.
It really is, man. It really is.
When you make people laugh, how does that make you feel in return?
You know, the crazy thing, I feel validated. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like that one thing that I know I can do. I've been doing it since I was a kid, you know? So it's that thing to put a smile on somebody's face, to pull somebody out of a depression or a fit of anger, you know. It's beautiful. It's powerful.
Yeah.
Can't help myself.
Some idea.
Come on, somebody testify. Come on.
Probably preaching for me, man. I've done it for 33 years, and I did it, man. In the beginning, when Bishop Greg, when there was a bike and $7, when it was no money. I would probably still preach if no money was attached to it, man. And help people get dressed, man. I love to style people. I love to style people, especially women. I can style a woman and it ain't even money. I just like to see them look good. So probably those two, preaching and styling. Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Johnson?
I'm with Prophet. It'd be preaching. I'm right behind you, Prophet. I've been preaching for 31 years. That's what I was born to do.
Yeah. Jack?
I hate to steal his answer, but I'm the same, man. I'm gonna keep preaching, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep preaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perry?
Yeah,
Same.
that and writing books.
Yeah.
I'll continue writing books even if it don't make me no money.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of books.
I think the obvious answer for me is preaching too. I want to add one more. I think coaching. Coaching is something I would do and I enjoy doing. Coaching kids basketball, helping them get in shape, helping them secure scholarships to change their future. It is something that is priceless. You can't pay me for that. So yeah. What about you, Bishop Davis?
I know this is going to sound corny, but everything that I do, I would do for free. I just happen to get paid for it.
Right.
I think, the old saying, Frank says, find something that you love to do. And then if they pay you for it, it's an added bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most people don't realize that I've never got paid for doing TV. Never. No network.
What?
No network I've been on.
No, okay,
Wow.
but certainly the word network have given you $1 million.
No.
How does it make sense then?
Because of the exposure. If
Yeah.
I can't see when you allow somebody to pay you, they own you. Yeah, they own you. So I have the freedom. I own my content. I own everything. And so if I don't know how to make money from being on Christian TV for 15 years, then shame on me. I'm boo-boo the fool. That's a whole nother lesson. That's a whole nother lesson.
Wow, that's a master class. Because I said, boy, they are kicking him down. They probably have a limo come pick him up, and they just stuff him.
My books and stuff. When I offer my books on there, of course, I get paid for my books and stuff. But no, not a salary. Never. TCT Network, Impact, none of them.
You got me on that. I assume. So
mind you what I said. I didn't say I said they don't pay me.
Right.
I didn't say I don't make money from it.
Right. But it's no secured, guaranteed check every week.
I wouldn't make all the money that I've made if I did get a check.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I love it. That's encouraging and challenging.
Yeah. I mean, I've been at it almost 15 years. I've been full-time in ministry for 30-something. I haven't worked a full-time job in 30-something years, 9 to 5. I haven't done that. I don't know when. But don't try this at home.
You better not. You promise you better not.
Take it from all of us and see.
Trust me.
And see that. Hey, Frank. Here's a good thing to think about. I'm going to the subject. But can a woman take a man that don't get a regular paycheck?
Yeah.
Woo-hoo!
I know a whole lot that can't in my own life.
How do you get paid? How do you tell a woman how you get paid when it's from all different ways? She don't understand it. And she don't understand that you ain't never been broke. You ain't never missed a meal. You ain't never been homeless. You buy whatever you want to buy.
Preach, sir.
How do you explain to a woman the way that your lifestyle? How do you explain to a woman that you work for somebody that she can't see and you can't?
That she can't see.
How do you explain to a woman that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things we can't see, that I live by faith, and some folk talk it, but they got all kind of other stuff going on? How do you explain to a woman that when the brook dries up, he got a widow woman that'll take care of you? Because the times that I have that one thing closed, something
Bishop.
opened. So how do you explain, y'all?
Watch yourself, Bishop.
How do you explain to them? Because a woman wants to feel secure. And for us, having faith in the one we work for is security.
Come on, sir.
Bishop.
But
Bishop.
How do you show a woman that? And she says, you need to go out and get a real job. This is my real job. Excuse me.
Real job.
Thank you.
Bishop, I went through
I
it.
make more in one engagement as an honorarium than most folk. Me and Bishop Trotter used to add, we do better than some doctors. I mean, when you talk about an honorarium, I mean, if you got something to say, I ain't talking about people that just ain't got nothing to say. I'm talking about. So how do you explain that? How do you explain that? How do you explain that you work all day and all night and it comes from everywhere, and she's secure with that because she has a 9-to-5 and it may pay her good, but how do you explain that? Who wants to do that? But this is a good place to park because some women may not understand that, and neither do they want to be bothered with that.
Ooh.
They don't.
Bishop, if you don't mind me asking, that last piece you just said, neither do they want to be bothered with that.
No, because they feel like that ain't security. What's going to happen if something happened and ain't nothing happened in 30-some years? He never failed me yet.
Bishop.
I'm just
Bishop. Uh-oh. You think we might get in trouble by what is exposed?
I'm just saying. I mean, y'all smiling and shaking y'all head, but come on in. Because I mean, even Frank, who has an uncle a grandfather who has a major thing going on, and all that, but still, people, they ain't gone tomorrow. How do you explain that people walk out? How do you explain that you go from one thing to another and one thing to another? And then how do you explain to that person that they got to be nice to the people that you can't be going off because these are the people that,
take care.
Bishop.
Yeah, that's a whole nother. We ain't got it. Y'all ain't got to.
Okay, so that's not what we're talking about.
I mean, we can unpack it for a few minutes because this is gumbo tonight.
Woo!
Antoine.
Well, Bishop, I've been full-time in ministry for 15, 16 years. And so this is literally how I live. This is how I live. I walk by faith. I live by faith, not by sight. The reason why you said, when Frank asked us the question earlier about what would I do without being paid for, what would I continue to do? It would be preaching, because I've realized that my obedience to what I'm actually called to do is my supply. So my supply is that I am actually walking by my actual nature and purpose. And if you find a man that might be working a job, but he's not working in his purpose, that's actually insecure. I'm going to say it again. You might find a man that's working a job, but he's not working in his purpose. That's actually an insecure man. A man that actually obeys what he's called to do, knows what he's called to do, and dedicates his life to that is actually a man you can trust, because he's actually keeping his hand in his creator's hand. So for me, my resource, my supply, my lifestyle is based on me being obedient to what God calls me to do every single day, which is actually more responsibility, which requires me to be on my job, which requires me to handle my responsibility with diligence and with care and with excellence. And when other people are sleeping, I'm working. When other people at home at 7 o'clock, I'm catching the flight back home. People don't understand the things that I'm doing, maneuvering, the people that I'm in contact with, and the opportunities that come as a result of me obeying what I'm put in the earth to do. So that's just the start of that, Bishop. That's just a start for me. But
did you say how you explain it?
It's It's not able to be explained. It is something that you have to experience.
So do
See,
they have to trust God or do they trust you?
hopefully you trust me. Hopefully you see the fruitfulness of my life.
Frank, that was good, wasn't it?
Look, if you trust God with me,
go ahead.
yeah, trust God with me, I can watch him do something significant through our partnership.
Yeah. Who want to go?
I don't want to talk too much, bitch, because I might get towed up and y'all have to come pick me up off my flow over here. Because you know, Bishop, if anybody knows what it's like to try to trust the voice of God with doubt all around you, it's me. Because I left what was secure. I left what was sure. Because God said it was time to get away for a season. Nobody understood it. Everybody said I was crazy. But I didn't go hungry, not one day. I never asked my grandfather, and he can testify to this, I never asked my grandfather for a dime. For a dime. Never had to call back home and say, send me some money. And so, I mean, living in 3 different cities, away from home. Never wanted for nothing. And watch this. Leaving what was secure, my living didn't go down, it went up. Bishop, you came to my condo in Scottsdale. You saw how I was living. You saw what I was driving. And so I think, to answer your question, she would see the fruit. She would see how I eat. She would see how I live. She would see the things I'm able to do. And that's nobody but God. I have not worked a secular job since I was 20 and I'm 35. So yeah.
But Frank, I want to ask you, and I want to pull you away from the spirit just for a moment. Frank, I know the Lord and the angels and the Holy Spirit, but what do you think it is about you? There's something about you. I could tell you some things that I see, but if you don't mind sharing, what is it on you other than just, I know the Holy Spirit and the angels and major and minor prophets, but what is it that you think about you that allow you to flow like you do? Don't tell me your trust in God. I want to trap you in another corner to make you say it in another way or give us a page we ain't looked at yet.
Well, I don't know how to properly put it other than I've never allowed myself to be bound by what is comfortable. And I've always been willing to stretch beyond my comfort zone, beyond what made sense to me and my family and to my friends around me. I've always been willing to get out of what was comfortable in order to find God's voice.
Thank you.
That's the only way I can explain.
It have nothing to do with your physical looks, your suits, your clean, tight fades. How you get them nice cars? How you get the condo in Scottsdale? I know you don't have time to explain it all, but there's something to you beyond just church and ministry.
Yeah. I don't know, Brother Bryce. I can't put my finger on it. I honestly can't.
Okay.
You speak. You said you see.
Well, like I said,
minister tonight.
The way you present yourself, do you know what I'm saying? We know you ain't gonna take no mess from nobody.
That's true.
Now, I don't want to sound inappropriate. You got pretty eyes, you clean cut, you're a metrosexual. I've seen your suits. Okay.
Yes.
And if you got a Scottsdale or Scarsdale?
Scottsdale.
In Arizona, right? Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got people there. Ain't none. And if you got a nice car, and I was just curious, I don't know how you keep the women away from me. I don't care the ones that want to work with you and believe in you, and the ones that don't. I don't know how you keep them away from you, and still walk, in integrity.
Yeah.
So
Pray
okay, thank you, Bishop. Thank you, Frank. I just I just
Yes,
wanted
sir.
some practical nuggets.
Yes, sir.
You pay all your bills on time, right? Or you make it a habit, because you can't just get a
Yes.
nice car and a nice place and dress them nice
Yeah.
suits you got and that tight
Yes, sir.
face, especially the side profile. See, I
Yes.
can't do nothing with you, man, because my days are gone.
Yes, sir.
I think that if I interject, I think that you know, when you find it's one thing, your passion is not always your purpose. What you always love to do is not always what you're called to do. I have not worked a secular job myself since I was 26. I came out as a teacher, and so and I've been in full-time ministry ever since. I'm 33 now. But you know, trying to explain the unseen to someone that's used to the seen is kind of unexplainable. You know, it's hard to do. You know, so when Bishop asked the question pertaining to how do you explain the concept of now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence, it's hard to explain. It has to be, and I think you said it way, Bishop. The concept is you have to experience it. You know, faith is not revealed to your senses. You can't taste it, see it. You can't touch it. You know, it's revealed by way
Yes, sir.
of you just doing what you do. So Bishop, to answer your question, you asked, do she trust God or me? I think she should trust me, but I think also she should have enough insight to also trust God in me, more so than just trusting me, leading her. So I think, and I'm not trying to be biblical with it, but Eve said that God said to taste the fruit, which means a lot of times the woman wants to taste it more so than just see it. So my concept is that you have to experience it. There's no way you can really, because my purpose was found when I left my passion.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
So,
Yeah.
so Perry, so ladies that's listening in, and I don't really understand this right here. I don't really understand when a woman says she wants a pastor or a preacher, because you really don't know what you asking for and the responsibility. I don't deter you, but most of the ones that don't want are the ones that end up and the ones that can handle it better. But when you say, Perry, she has to trust God, the reality of it is you asking her to trust something she can't see or know. So she really would have to trust you too, though. Quite like for real, trust you. Trust the God in you. Trust the God in you, right? Pretty
Yes,
much.
sir. Yes,
So
sir.
how do you I hate to sound commercial. How do you sell that though? How do you say to a woman? And have you ever had that problem? Because I'm going to just be honest. I'm going to be very transparent. I have had more than one woman say to me, I'm coming to you, Apostle. I've had more than one woman say to me or ask me the question, how do you make your money? Where do you get your check from? You know, I mean, and then you tell them it just comes in all different ways. But all I can tell you, it comes in. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I've never, brothers, don't laugh at me, but no church that I've ever pastored has taken care of me. Not one. Not one. And I loved it that way. Not one.
What about the two churches? The two churches you were pastoring. Surely they sent you.
I said not one took care of me and my lifestyle. The road. Even when we were doing amazing in Delaware and all that, they did. I mean, not to the level. I've always had other because of the lifestyle I had. I mean, at one time I was living in 3 different places. So the road, people across the world sent my 2 girls to college without any funding from the government. The road, evangelists, doing the work of evangelists, not pastoring. I mean, along the way, people have done stuff for me, and yet, I'm not saying that people never, but yeah, most time it was the road, and to explain that, Pastor Kim quit her job. When we first got married, she was making more than me, working for the telephone company back then in the 90s. but she took her early buyout and trusted me. And it was a good payoff because she's pastoring 2 churches, very successful. It don't work like that with everybody though, but she trusted. You know why? I'm gonna help y'all because I was already doing something.
Mm-hmm.
I was already doing something. Now I've not had 9-to-5s, but I toured with the McDonald's Gospel Fest, made good money. I've toured with other conferences. I've toured with I'm gonna give him his props. Prophet Brian Carn. You know, I mean, I've never had a break. So if this closes up immediately, something else. I mean, I wish I could testify right now some things that's happening. I can't.
Two things.
Yes, brother.
No, I'm just saying I want you to share 2 things.
No, I can't tell what's good, but some things are in the working now that he just continuously. So I'm trying to help somebody's faith, and I'm trying to help some ladies out here that are listening to know when you're talking about one of these type of men of God, while Johnson and others that pastor may get regular salaries, but it's still faith because you're trusting people that they're going to come to church and that they're going to tithe and that you're not going to say anything to piss them off. Because what Black people do, they walk with their feet. No, it's the other way around. No, Black folk will stay there, but they won't give. Right?
They walk. They Black people vote in 2 ways. Okay. With feet and finances.
Right.
Wow.
But they'll stay there and shut you down.
They might not lead with their feet.
Right.
But they're gonna lead with their finances.
Caucasians will just leave. But Black folk will say because they have ownership. We've taught Black folk that this is theirs. They have ownership in it. And so all of us still live by faith. Broderick is a comedian. You know what I'm saying? So how do you get a woman to buy into that is the question, Apostle.
Bishop. Let me answer the latter part of the question. Sometime, and I know you can agree, they buy into it, Bishop Johnson, first, till they have to live it. Because they see stuff, Prophet Perry. So they see you sharp, they see you together, so in the beginning they buy into it until they have to actually live it. When they have to live it, it's a whole different situation because now it's like, you were for real? like are you like you really live like that? Like there have been times I didn't know, Broderick, what was next week's revival. But by Thursday of this week, next week showed up. Or sometime, Prophet Perry, it don't show up to that Sunday night. And somebody say, oh man, can you stay over? Or somebody say, man, you blessing the people so long, can you run it? How many of us, and I know, Perry and Bishop, how many of us have started and it was a 2-day thing and it turned into a week? The people don't know it was only 2 days, but it turned into a week and it was so blessed. I have been, here's the other thing, levels of faith. Because I've dated and been married to people who were in ministry, but they were in ministry with a job. Bishop Jackson, they had a job. So I got faith, and I don't knock you at your faith. And this kind of full-time faith is on a whole nother level. Your faith and this kind of faith is on a whole nother. Because this type of faith, I've been doing it for 33 years, and it went from $7 maybe or no dollars to what people see now. And I always tell people, don't get excited about what you see now, because God will send you ravens. There are more dirty birds that have happened in my life than ever. And I got to be honest with you. There have been people who have given me cards. The Lord told them, just handed the keys and the whole wrote the car off. What you got to pay? You ain't got to pay nothing. I lived in a house, Frank, that a millionaire should live in. I lived in a house with no mortgage, no rent. Because the doctor and his wife, this was a second home, but they wanted to downgrade, told me to live for a whole year with nothing, just there. I live like a prophet, and I'll land my plane here, as they say in Clubhouse. I live like a prophet. I lived in different cities and different. Here you go, Broderick. When the Lord told me to go to Jamaica, and I stayed there for 3 years, and God took care of me with nothing. Took care of me. I had a maid, I had a cook, I had a driver, I had my own. In Jamaica, the third successful person in Jamaica is the doctor, the lawyer, and the preacher. And I live like that because of God. So it's hard to sell it, Bishop, but when you do sell it, sometimes when she's in it, she can't see it. And I've had some women say to me, I realize I need to date a 9-to-5 guy. I need to see a guy that he comes home and he got a check. Because what do you do when that man comes on Friday and you thought you was going to have this amount of money? And like Roger said, sometimes it don't be right. And you got to keep going on. So it's hard to sell it. But when you do sell it, you got to make sure you sell it to the right woman. All y'all women that say you want a preacher, there are different levels of preachers. But this level, like Bishop say, you got to really know what you want, because this is on a whole another level, including even Joe is here. I know he got a lot of stories on business. He don't know what a show is. I used to do hair for some of the artists out there, Joe, when I first started. I know what it is for y'all to go there and think y'all check gonna be there and had to meet in the back room and it was a whole different, or the guy's like, I don't have your money. So I know Joe got some stories on the same level, that level of faith that everything is gonna be there. I land my plane.
Bishop, you're muted.
I'm sorry. How do you, Pastor Johnson, any of you, Rod, good to see you, Joe, tonight. How do you interpret this to a woman? How do you convey this to a woman? How do you get the buy-in from the woman? Johnson, how do you get her to understand? Does it take a special type woman to understand this? Or do you find a woman? Because there are a lot of preachers that's looking for a woman that got her own bag and she got health insurance because the church can't afford health insurance yet, and just so many other things. How do you get a woman to buy into, even like Broderick, Apostle said, Joe works, he's a promoter. That's not a 9-to-5. I know I'm gonna get a check. That's a faith thing too. So Pastor Johnson.
Bishop, something that you said earlier, I think is very key, is when they see a resume of consistency. So you are consistently bringing in money, whether it be from the road or you are leading an established church, whether it be through revivals, conferences, workshops, or even a platform like this. If they can consistently see the money. So it may be a roller coaster ride, it may be ups and downs, but as long as they can consistently see the money, they don't have a problem with it. The second thing that I discovered too is that partnership thing. There are some ladies with an established job and they can provide the health insurance while you provide the cash flow. So I've seen it done both ways.
Have women ever, Frank, just didn't see it and left the person, or just like, I'm out because I don't understand and I'm just not going to live like that? Is it for them to, does that mean they're not the one, huh?
That's what I would say, Bishop.
Yeah. I mean, I've had women that ex was our drug dealer. Like seriously.
Because what? Why would they ask you that, Frank?
Are you Frank?
No. No.
Joe.
I'm a pusher. But not of drugs.
Okay, okay. So what is it that makes them think? Is it because of the car or the way you dress, or what, they find out where you live?
No, because like where the money come from?
Where the money
like
come from?
Some people just don't understand.
Yeah.
Some people just don't understand
When
how
it's
it works.
thousands, sometimes, Roger. When it's thousands, it's hard for them to see that. When a week, 7 days, and it's 10,000, they're like, "What? What do you do?" That's the stuff I'm talking about.
Or a day,
or more.
and it's 10,000.
Yes,
Okay.
and it's a day. Yes.
Wow.
Hard to explain that.
Anybody else?
Okay, I just need to. Who's making $10,000 a day on this screen? Or okay, Bishop, I know you making it. I know Bishop, he ain't gonna say nothing, but I know you making it. Maybe not every day, but that's not a miracle for you, is it, Bishop?
Broderick, this is not the platform for that.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought we was talking. My bad.
There's other ears than the ones that you see on here. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Oh,
sir.
all
I
right.
apologize.
Yes. Mhm. The Lord is kind.
I've never seen $10,000 in.
Joe is lying.
No, he is. So, Joe, talk about it from your level, Joe.
Right.
I'm still trying to get the concept of what we're talking about. I'm still trying to listen.
Well, but this really wasn't what we were talking about. Frank kind of asked the question, what will we do for free? And then I spinned it around and we kind of got here talking about how do you convince a woman to be with a man that don't work a 9 to 5 and makes his money the way that all of us do. None of us have 9 to 5s, including you. None of us. We don't make our money just from we're gonna get a check Friday, and then even some of us, I could probably speak for everybody without even knowing. Some of us have given up checks to sacrifice, and some of us have paid. Why are you paying all that money at the ministry? Why are you doing all? How do you translate that to a woman that I don't have a 9 to 5, but for 35 years I've been good. I've never been broke. I've never seen the righteous. How do you talk to a woman and she says she wants security? How do you tell her you're a promoter and you just do promote? You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to tell you, baby, but I've always had money. So how do you tell a woman who don't have an entrepreneur mind, but you love her, but she makes good? That's what we talking about, Joe.
I really think there's a special woman in this world who could embrace the spirit of an entrepreneur. I don't think everybody's called to that. Like, I don't think everybody called to be married to a pastor in the midst of his pastoral ministry. I think it's individual and specific to that person. Broderick was talking about how we could see $10,000 in a day. I could see $30,000 after a event, and then for 2 months I don't see a dime.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Talk, sir, right there.
It's almost like you gotta know that through this entire process that I'm gonna make sure that you're good, that everything's gonna be okay. And I think that, especially for us, those of us that are entrepreneurs that do business, we don't think about it, but at some point we got to start to be conscious on the type of security, Bishop Jackson, that we provide, even conversationally, to a person that's invested in us, because they don't understand. All they see is the nice dinners and the trips and the gifts. But they don't understand the pressures, because I haven't worked a job since 2001, but I remember, Claiborne, that there was a time that I was comfortable to know that I was going to get this amount of money every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
There's a comfort in that. There's a security and a safety in that.
Thanks.
But when I get to this entrepreneur side, and it's been a long time since I said a broke day, but it's not as comfortable, but it's also not as fulfilling as what I do entrepreneurially. I don't know if that's a word or not.
That's the word.
But there is a woman who undergird, who nourishes. I hate to use the word fertilize because what it means, but who fertilize, who cultivate the spirit of entrepreneurship inside of a man that pushes him to do better. I always say this, and I don't know you guys been single or married or whatever the case, but the richest I ever been, Bishop, is when I was married. It's something about that pressure of what you're responsible for when you're married that pushes you to do more. I only try to just make it through the day now and just pay these bills and be able to travel and buy nice gym shoes. But if I had a wife and a family that I had to be responsible for, now, Broderick, I'm looking at college tuitions. I'm looking at retirement plans for both of us. I'm looking at vacation money 3 times or 4 times a year. And it changes the dynamics of how I work. And for those that are entrepreneurs, how I hustle. Yeah, it's hard to really communicate to somebody who only understands. Because my family only understands work for a job for 30 years, get a gold watch, get a little retirement plan, and a little party with a cake at the end of your thing, and then live like that. And I don't have that in me. I never had it in me. It used to sound so perverse and foreign to me, Johnson, that I couldn't even fathom the thought of being able to go into somebody else's job, help them become rich, make them millionaires and billionaires, push their agenda, do their work, do what they want me to do. When I got all these ideas and I got all these connections and all these resources and all this stuff that I'm able to do to create wealth for my home and for my family. But I think everybody not called to that. I think a woman needs to see me make, what are they making, $1,700 every 2 weeks? I would slit my wrist if I had to deal with something that basic. I'm sorry. Go ahead, I'll finish.
No, Joe. Let's lean into something you said, and then we're gonna switch, y'all. Y'all all right with this conversation?
Yeah.
It's organic. Yeah.
Yes.
You said you may make, and we're just using this hypothetically. Can a woman handle you making $30,000 this month and not making nothing for another 3 or 4 months? But watch this. So Apostle will understand this, and those that have been on the road. He's been on the road just as long as I have. He'll understand this. Broderick may understand this too. If you are somebody that has traveled on the road, Frank, you will. If you're somebody that's traveled on the road, you know that there are up and down times. Okay, so I know that when it gets near to Thanksgiving, unless you're somebody that's just gonna go preach for any, because there's some guys that are, that
it slows down, yeah.
Between Thanksgiving and New Year's, until New Year's revivals,
yeah,
you better have saved up money.
You better.
I'm trying to help the ladies to understand how you live. And if you are a pastor, then you understand between right now in normal times,
summertime.
Well, it's summertime, but then it don't pick back up until September late because back to school.
People go to school, yeah.
They going to school. So you better know these dips, and you better be Joseph. You better be able to save in the times that, you know what I'm saying? And she has to, I'm always bringing it back to her. She has to understand this.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be another dip when you get to Easter, unless you real Pentecostal, they're calling you for Holy Week, but ain't nobody inviting you on Easter Sunday because, Doc, that's my pulpit. I ain't getting my pulpit. Unless it's a vacant church. I preached a couple of years for vacant churches that didn't have a pastor, and friends asked me to go cover. Yeah. But that's the reality of what we do. She got to understand all that, y'all. Does she get nervous, Antoine? She get happy when she see Joe bring that 30 in. But then they ain't nothing came in 2 or 3 months. That's something. That's something that needs to be discussed in the outset. And if she has a job, is she all right with, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Not that it never happened. But go ahead. Who wants to?
Yeah, I think we gotta be sure that we communicate that even though we might have good living going on, good living does not equal easy living.
Say that again.
Good living does not equal easy living.
Absolutely.
Please unpack that. Everything in that bag. Unpack that.
That just because you see us living good, that living does not come at an easy cost.
Doesn't come at an easy cost.
It costs that because we do not work 9 to 5s, we're always at work. And Joker understand that.
That's good, man. That's good, brother.
That you not
Take
having
us there, Frank. Take us there. That's
you not having the security of knowing when a paycheck comes in. You're always on the grind because you're always looking for something else to come in.
Yes.
So you're doing it passionately, but you're getting blessed along the way. You sometimes it might be crumbs, sometimes it might be an overflow.
But it add up.
But it's all coming. But think about that. Joe used 30,000 for instance. Like if he get 30,000, and if he don't get 30,000 but one other time in the year, that's 60,000. That's more than the average in a lot of cities that people make, which is like between $40,000 and $45,000. So it's ups and downs, and I think it's our job that we don't do too much spoiling without communicating the cost and the stress and the labor. That baby, this fruit ain't just falling off of trees without, you understand. It's some labor that's going into this.
And Frank, we got to be careful not to deal with people who might see the frequency of those moments where money come in. People that spend our money irresponsibly just because we're spending it.
Yeah.
I had a woman meet me at a restaurant downtown a few years ago, Frank. I did a live that went viral. And a woman, Broderick, she came with her friend. It was 2 different cars. And we had a restaurant downtown Chicago. And I said, yo, y'all just valet when y'all pull up and just come on in, right? And I take care of it. Don't worry about it. They took both their cars and drove 2 blocks away and parked them on the street and paid meters and walked back. And I said, why did y'all do that? They said, because we didn't want to put all this cost on you, that you had to spend all this extra money on our cars. Although I had it budgeted in my mind already, I always appreciated them for doing that one thing to try to make sure they mitigate what I spend. And a lot of women go out with guys that think they got all this disposable income because of the life we live. Ain't never touched a steak or a lobster, but when they get inside the restaurant, now they want to order stuff that they ain't never had because
you about to start something.
Because I don't care. Let's start it. Because you want to spend my money irresponsibly, even though I might even be a person that's potentially good for you in the future. But because we're in this phase of talking, and now you want to spend my money irresponsibly, if you think that I might be something good for you, and don't even think about it in the beginning, even when you enter the relationship, and you still spending my money irresponsibly because you don't really care about our future or my future or what's happening with me. All you see is what's in front of you. And only dogs eat everything that's in front of them.
Yeah.
And so are you a human or are you a dog? Are you invested in this relationship to the point to where you want to make sure that we're good, that you ain't just always maxing out everything? We got to have a suite at the Waldorf Astoria. We got to have this kind of car pick us up, and we got to, rent this big yacht when we get to Miami and all that kind of stuff. Because if you don't care about how responsible I am with my money, then you don't care about me, and you don't care about our future, and you don't see me the way that I want to be seen.
Joe, let me tell you where
That makes me nervous.
Let me tell you where, and had I got that kind of education early on, this is to help some younger entrepreneurs. Joe, I made the mistake to not only look a certain way, but spoil a certain way. Because I was young and immature. I told someone the other day, Pastor John said, I've lost more money than I could. Bishop, when I first came to Detroit 27, and y'all had the 4-color Gators, because I couldn't find it in Philly. My feet was too small. They started up at like 9, but Detroit became my place of love because Detroit, man, they had the 8s, and I was like, what? So I was doing, Frank, I was doing 4 colors and 3. Now you're looking at a guy who at that time I'm preaching 7 days a week, 3 services on Sunday. How many clothes people would tell you I would travel with 2-3 bags I'm traveling with, because I got shoes for different night. I got to wear different outfit, in my immature state. But when women got with me, they saw that. And some of my friends on here now, they'll tell you, I have a thing. If you go out to eat with me, no matter how many people, Prophet, in my immature state, I pay for the whole meal. But when you get with somebody who sees that, and you spoil her, she stay in that space. So when you have that off time, Bishop, she can't handle that, because I had a young lady told me, what do you mean? She could not handle the break. The break was just too much because of what I did. So what I'm learning to do, and I learned as I got older, because I don't have that same problem, is that if you spoil them too hard, when you have that off moment, and the off moment is, for some of us, it's not a full down, because like Frank said, you're always still hustling, even if it's a few pennies here and there. Sometimes, and people don't think that add up, but if I've gone some places where I was not the preacher, but they were just so happy this prophet came in, didn't ask me to preach, but gave a word to the church. And in the office, the pastor said, man, I know you don't have to do that. I never want to pip your gift, and put a couple $100 in my hand. He don't know that couple $100 kept me, because I obeyed and went. So you're always going, why you not home? You're tired. You just came off the road. I don't know when the next thing is going to happen. So I got to you're always in that space of going. And so I would say, if you make those mistakes early as an entrepreneur, it's going to kill you later on. And I'm glad, Joe, I wish I'd have got that lesson earlier, but I didn't. Prophet Barry.
And I want to add that a lot of times, I was told preachers, we're like waiters. We live off tips more so than checks. How we handle the people we're serving, we live off tips. Sometimes a waiter really doesn't get paid $2, $3 a year. You know what I mean? About hourly, that $3. So we live off the tip. How I treat the people I'm interacting with can define what I'm going to get from this table. And so a lot of times we sit back and individuals see our success, but honestly, success doesn't feel and look like what we've made it to look. Success hurts. Success frustrates. Success can feel you on this side and starve you on that side.
Yes.
Success can give you life on that side and kill this side. So it's a plethora of perspectives of success. So success really doesn't feel and look like. So when people see preachers, or a woman sees an entrepreneur, or in this case, us preachers, they can get blinded by the illusion of success. But it's an illusion until you get up on it. It's and it can really deceive you. It can really mess you up. It's like Peter, you know what I mean? Walking on water. You just got the step. And if you really don't know, you don't know, so it hurts. it frustrates. And again, I'll say sometimes it gives you, it can fill this side of you up. It'll starve that side over there. There are a lot of individuals, even on the platform. Bishop Davis, for example, you talked about how his ministry, the wife, he supported the wife of God so much, but he starved somewhat his wife at home. It is a lot of perspectives that we have. So in my eyes, I think that to the back to what you said, Bishop, it's really hard to explain how do we live by birds. You know, how do we live by the raven coming? How do we live by a brook? How do we live by a widow woman who they think we sleeping with?
Prophet,
You know what I mean?
prophet.
You know, she's a widow. Why am I
Frank, that was
sleeping
good.
with- you know, you think I'm sleeping with the widow because she, you know, and it's not even
Because she
that.
taking care of me because I got a
You don't
car.
understand.
Hey, yo, please go there.
Our blessing. She's our release. It's because of her we got bread. We had a cake. It's because of her.
Yes.
We have so it's a plethora of ways to
Prophet,
look at
I got a question tonight.
Sure.
Where is my widow?
Yeah. And the
I need a
concept
widow.
about it, and see that's the thing. We hear that, but at the same token, but a lot of times it's hard to
It is.
have someone with you that can see what you see, hear what you hear, and not be able to say, okay, I trust you. And Bishop, you said that because again, I always say you can love me and not trust me. And
Yes.
so we have a lot of individuals that are in love with individuals, but they don't trust you no farther they can see you. And because of insecurities, because of whatever you've experienced, because of the highs and lows of where I am, you can end up mishandling our next meal because you're hating the widow that's gonna save us. You killing the widow. You just done killed the widow. You just done wrote a whole status about the widow, and she's the one that God sent by faith to bake us a cake.
Come
And
on.
don't want you the way that she thinks that the widow wants you. Ain't studying you.
Nope.
Ain't studying you. But she's the Shumanite woman
Come on, Bishop.
who makes room for you. So,
Makes
brother,
room.
lean in, ladies. We're almost done. How many women are like the one Perry talked about? Ladies, y'all listen. Hey, Tabitha. That have messed up because they really couldn't handle the assignment, and they couldn't wrap their minds around. They couldn't wrap their minds around the way you live, the way we live it.
Yeah, Bishop. I don't know how we got here, but we here.
This one what we supposed to. I sent y'all what we was talking about.
Because literally in the spirit, I just was hearing how many women have missed their brook because they wouldn't go with. How many women have missed their ravens because they wouldn't go with.
Absolutely.
That many of them are in a place of starvation because they missed their opportunity to go when they should have went.
Yes.
Frank, I just want to ask this because I don't know much. Are you saying, and I think Prophet, are you saying provision is seasonal?
By the way we walk?
Yes.
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 How do I? But so how do we get a woman? And I know that's what we've been talking about. You know, because like 1 minute he at the brook, then the brook dried up. Watch this, Bishop. I apologize.
No, go ahead. No, go. I'm gonna answer.
You know, because it's like what, like for me, I be wondering. I'm doing comedy. I promise you, there have been times maybe I need to stop. Maybe that season is over. Because I tell you, sure ain't no money coming in, and no woman don't want no broke man. But women have given me a chance because they look at how long I've been doing this. They're not asking me to be rich. But there have been some times, Bishop, Prophet, you know, that I just want, maybe I need to go from comedy. Maybe I need to pastor. I don't know. Maybe I need to tap into my singing. I need to do something else because right now, it just seems like. But then Bishop said something I wrote down, and I wrote it like this. I said, know your dips. Because you were talking about in the good season, put some away. You know, and
But
so
they can't be aggravating you in the dips. They have to understand the dips. And brethren, it's up to us to help them understand that this 30 came in today, but it may not be the next time. It be three for another 3 months. You know what I'm saying? They have to understand the dips. That's where the aggravation comes in. It's already bad enough that I'm believing God for it, but I don't need you to be aggravating me while I'm believing God. And watch this. This is just me talking. Broderick, it may just be, you know, I keep hearing for everybody. You got to pivot. I'm in a pivot right now.
I'm pivoting, man.
You see WTROC? That's a pivot. That's a pivot from traditional pastoring. That's a pivot that's a pivot. This is a pivot. So when a woman says to me, I'm boring, or when a woman says to me, all you do is work, you don't understand. I'm not in the dip right now. I'm riding the wave. I don't make waves. I stand on the beach and I catch waves with my surfboard. And right now it's a wave going and I'm in a work season. I know how to rest. Trust me. But right now, while it's flowing and the wealth is being transferred over and we in this thing, I am in a work season. I'm in Atlanta now away, but I'm not here. Everybody say, oh, enjoy yourself. I'm not here for that. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here for a change of scenery so I can continue to be creative. But we are in I'm not talking about nobody else, because what my season is may not be nobody else's. But for a woman to tell me you don't know how to enjoy yourself, I done traveled almost every 50 state there is. You know what I'm saying? I've had a good life, but I can go to anywhere. But right now, I'm stacking. I'm like the girls that be on the phone with the thing. Hello, this is the bills.
Yeah.
These notes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so to have a woman that don't understand that and that's saying, you know, that's yeah.
Yeah, but so bitch, maybe this conversation ain't even for them. They just get a chance to eavesdrop, and this is really maybe it's really for us. Maybe this is just our counseling and therapy and ministry session to each other, and they get an opportunity to participate in the backdrop. Because I cannot tell you how many times, because like you said, I had to make a pivot. So I went from living one way to now I still live all right now, but I ain't like I was in Scottsdale. But it's for a purpose. It's something else brewing on the back end of this. You get what I'm saying? And so all of us have been in their seasons. And so in those seasons, you got to be careful who you have in your ear. So maybe it's not us that's defected because we're not married or we're still single and waiting. Maybe God still got us waiting because he know that if we get out of the waiting season, we'll get distracted because of our love, and we really want to do her right. We really want to do her right. So we might be willing to make some compromises and some sacrifices off of the streamline of where our faith really is just to appease her.
Yeah.
It's just flowing, Bishop. Somebody got what I'm saying though.
Right. And Frank, let me throw this in too. Never allow a woman to make you abort your calling and your assignment.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because our blessing, our promise is fulfilling their calling and assignment. I say that because my pastoral resume has been like this. I pastored a church with 1,500 members, which was an all Anglo church, wealthy church. I was also had to plant my first church with only 18 people. Then I pastored a church that was the fastest growing church in the city. I grew from 1 service to 3 services. Then I'm pastoring an institutional church. So the income is like this. You got the dips, you got the highs, and you got the lows. But I've had somebody to tell me in my dips, well, you should go and get a real job.
I've
So
had
what I had to tell them was, I have a real job. I just need to go and get a real woman to match my real.
My God, my God, my
See,
God.
that's what I'm talking about. Talk, Johnson. When a woman tells you that,
Huh?
when a woman tells you that, that's where I wanted to get to. And I didn't say, but I've had women tell me that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they
I've had
didn't
them
tell me
tell
that,
me
but they used to tell me that. Yeah.
Right. Right.
They kind of believe it a little more now. But I'm just saying, what do you do when a woman tells you that? Like, go get a real job. I don't understand it.
Y'all, I can't tell y'all how many times in this season people who knew where I was before I moved back. Why you crazy? Why would you move back? What were you thinking? What you were going? So you have to fight against all of that to stay on the streamline of your faith. And I know Jack can relate. I know Jack can in planting and going through a divorce and having a daughter, and I know he can relate.
Yeah. All I
Hey,
said, man, don't let Esther steal your crown. You know, that's because when you refuse to make decisions and do what you need to do, there's
Last time you gonna
always
be out.
someone that will stand with you. Go ahead, Bishop Jackson. You got it, man.
I have so many thoughts about this. That excuse me for being quiet because I'm literally musing. I'm literally musing because this is legit my life today, how I live. And you know, when I tell a woman, you know, ministry is my job. This is my life. This is what I'm going to do with my life. But I also understand that what I need to actually be good at what I do is a partner. And now this will probably make sense, Broderick, when I say this all the time. When I say, for me, my primary need from a woman is peace. This is why I say this. The reason why that is my primary need in a partner with a woman is because that is what causes me to be productive. Without the peace, I am not productive. So if a woman does not have the conflict resolution skills, it'll cause me to go in an uproar because my life is a system. There are seasons when it's a tornado. There are seasons when it's a hurricane. Then there are seasons when I'm in the eye of a storm and it's silent. But I need that peace, that partnership of peace that allows me to be productive because this is what I want to do with my life. And so oftentimes when a woman will see me and think, well, oh, you need a first lady. I actually don't need a first lady. Oh, you need a pretty woman. I actually don't need I need you know what I'm saying? Like, I need one that I'm attracted to. I need one that I'm attracted to. But the reality of the matter is I need one that protects my peace. Because if she protects my peace, I will make so much money, she will never have to worry about her own personal security if she's a partner with my peace.
So, Jay,
Go ahead, Joe.
You on mute, Joe. You on mute, Joe.
You're on mute.
I'm sorry, I apologize. So, having faith in God is not enough. You kind of got to have faith in me too.
Yep.
You kind of got to know what you attach yourself to.
You gotta know.
You gotta pick up with what kind of guy I am, and that come hook or crook, come hell or high water, we not missing no meals, we not getting evicted, none of these cars getting repoed, and you're gonna still be able to hit the mall occasionally. So you gotta believe in the person. Kanye said in the song, when a guy couldn't pay the bill, but he had to wash the dishes, she said, while he's washing those dishes, watch him. He's gonna make it into a Benz out of that Dobson. Look at his ambition, baby. Look at his eyes. So you got to be able to see the ambition and the hustle and the strength inside the man that you're attached to. You know when a guy ain't got it. You know when he ain't got it. You know when he don't have that push or that grind or that ambition to do what he need to do. But then again, you see a dude when you know not only is he gonna hustle, but something inside of him that's attached to his masculinity, that's attached to his purpose, is you're gonna always be good because you're with me. And because you're alive, I'm gonna take care, Claiborne, everything under this roof with a heartbeat.
You better believe it.
It's gonna be okay. Everything under this roof that breathes is gonna be okay. Whether it's a woman or a baby or a dog or a goldfish.
It's gonna be okay.
Everything's gonna be okay. And so I think that men have a responsibility to, whether subconsciously or not, project that, and women have a responsibility, subconsciously or not, to discern that, so that we'll be making the best decisions when it comes to stuff like this.
Yo, and I also want to say this because I think we have a faulty definition of the word work. Because we think that the word work itself means it has to be hard, when the word work comes from this term ergon, which means to become. So work means to become. So when you see a man that is giving himself to what he is created to be and to do, the man is working. Fish don't go to swim school. Birds don't go to flight school. They swim, they fly. I preach. Because I know what I'm called to do, that I'm supplied.
Hey, Jackson.
Yes,
Please
sir.
let them know that there's a difference between.
I'm sorry, Joe. I'm sorry, Joe. The preacher in me just got happy, brother.
Yes.
Let me go back on mute. He didn't kill me tonight.
No, he did good. I just need to know, and I'm not a preacher. I'm the only one on here that's really not a preacher. Broderick is a part-time preacher.
Bootleg.
But
You bootleg.
bootleg.
Go ahead.
But my question is there a difference between work and a job?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Y'all get that mixed up. There's a difference between what's work and a job, and they don't intermingle.
I ain't had a job in 35 years.
Bishop, I had a job since 2001. I know it means different, but I don't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what to do with a punch clock.
I'm with you, Joe. I haven't had a real job since 2001.
Yeah, if
Wow.
you're looking for a man that got a job, I don't think none of us would be the ones. Now, if you're looking for somebody that work,
We ain't the right ones.
Yeah. and then see,
we work all night though. We some of us don't sleep. We were working. Bishop, like you said, it's 12 o'clock. That one video, that video should go viral for around the world. That one video you did, it was about lonely, but you talked about some other stuff. You said, I'm just getting in the bed. I've been up all early this morning and I'm just getting in the bed. Because Oprah says, I worked harder when I became my own boss than I ever did as a regular job, because Frank, you always up. I keep a book by my bed. I keep things going on. I'm always writing some stuff. What's the next things? I'm always sitting up answering emails, looking at this, looking at that. You work harder as your own boss than you did working a regular 9 to 5. And so we are always kind of, Bishop drives and still working. He's walking and still working. Like he's not doing a regular workout. That's not the guy that's just working out. And even when you look at Bishop AJ, I'm sure in his workout, his mind is running, what's the next thing they're going to do when I finish this workout? It's a never-ending thing when you're dealing with an entrepreneur, and it's hard to sleep next to an entrepreneur because he might not be asleep. He might be resting, but he ain't asleep. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe it's something, but you know what they try to say? He ain't never rested. I guarantee you right now, Bishop mind is running even while we on this show right now for what's the next thing.
Ain't no hours when you're doing your work. Ain't no hours when you're doing your Hey ladies, y'all want to get with these guys that's got it going on and that's building industries. The next Jeff Bezos, the next Steve Jobs might be on this stage, but you want this dude to relegate his time, his mind, his inspiration, his research to a 9 to 5 p.m.
Yeah,
you got legacy makers, you got world changers literally on this stage around me right now that I can look in their eyes and see the exploits they're going to be able to accomplish. But you want to get with these guys and relegate them to an hour structure? It's impossible for you to expect these guys with all that's in them. And if you can't see what's in them, if you don't have this discernment to see not just the anointing in a church and the preaching, but the gifting that's inside of them, the ability to create and build inside of them. And if you want to relegate those things to a 9 to 5 or to our structures, then you don't need a guy like us on the stage. And I'm gonna tell you something. You're gonna see familiarity, because y'all getting to know us a little bit now because y'all been around a while. And I'm sorry I ain't been around y'all. I hosted an event every Monday, and I told them I had to go. I wanted to be here tonight. I don't know why I wanted to be here tonight, but I see why I want to be here tonight. Y'all see the possibilities and the familiarity that's inside of every guy on the stage that you're going to find out in the world that's not going to be us. And you got to listen to what we're saying so you know how to handle this world changer, this industry builder, this person that's going to come up with an idea. We ain't just church. Bishop Jackson, you ain't just a dude that's relegated to the 4 walls of a church. Bishop ain't just a preacher. I talk to Bishop all the time, and 9 times out of 10, we ain't talking about church or preaching. He's talking about industry and business and building and employing people and paying people. And so if you think that you're going to relegate these type of men to hourly structures or to places, oh yeah, you got to go to your church office and then you come back home to me. And real men who are called, Broderick, write this down, real men that are called to greater will not always, because y'all think it's just an excuse for us to go do garbage because we need freedom in our time. Real men who understand that our time is limited with what we got to build and what we got to do and create. We don't have time to mess around with foolishness. So I tell you, I'm in my office and I'm writing, I'm building, and I'm structuring. It don't mean I'm at Susie's house with my ding-a-ling out. I'm actually trying to build things, structure things, fix things, create things, because what's on me, there's thousands of people that got to eat off my idea. And if I don't manifest, people will starve. I'm sorry.
Bishop, may I ask a question? And I know we're turning. So, and just want to make sure no woman is on here feeling like, Joe or anybody is attacking them or bashing or correcting or bashing. The distinction is this: if you want a regular man, there's nothing wrong with wanting a 9 to 5 man, right, Bishop? But they have to understand the distinction. If you want the regular 9 to 5, that seems secure until the boss fires him, that's fine. But if you want a Bishop Greg Davis, if you want a prophet, and I see all these guys, I've been seeing most of these guys even before I met them. I didn't know. It's okay to have either or, but just be clear, Bishop Jackson. It's okay to have. It's okay to have either or, right?
1,000%. 1,000%. I think what we're saying though is, excuse us, my daughter's putting ice in the background. Yeah, I was like, what is
I knew what it was.
Yeah. Give me some ice water, you good, baby. But what we're saying is, because I heard something, and Broderick, this is what shocked me. I was listening to a room one day, and they said that a high value man makes $10,000 a month. And if he doesn't make $10,000 a month, then he's not a high value man. And I was like, well, you can cancel me then, because I don't know what I'm gonna make a month based on what I do. And so, but my thing is, I'm so dedicated to my purpose. I'm so dedicated to what God called me to do with my life. To me, my value is based on my self-worth, not based on how much money I bring home. What we're saying is, if you want a man that sees himself as valuable, whether he works a job or not, what you want to see is his actual self-investment. How does he actually think as a man? What's his own worth? What is his vision? If he doesn't have a vision, if he does not have money management skills, if he does not know how to manage whether he gets $10,000 or $1,000, then I wouldn't get a man that works a job and he can't manage the money that he's getting from a job that he works. To me, it's about the principle of the man. It's about the structure of a man. It's about the way that he actually thinks, the way he manages his life. That's more important than whether he works or not.
So one of the things that keep coming to my mind as we are talking is track record. You have to look at the person's track record, because I don't want people to run off this live as you're watching and say, "Oh, I'm gonna find me a preacher that live by faith." No, everybody that said they ain't living by faith ain't living by faith. Living by faith ain't bouncing checks.
Right.
No, I mean there's some people that's how they bouncing checks, or hiding credit cards, and you don't know your way out. Living by faith is really living by the drumbeat of God, because then you got to add to something that we're missing. You got to add to the entrepreneurship, Perry, faith. Because we're not Warren Buffett and we're not Bill Gates. You know what I'm saying? They go by their logic and what they feel and sense. You call that discernment, but we add to the entrepreneurship, Jackson, faith.
Yeah.
We live by faith and not by sight. And so you have to find somebody that's willing to live by faith with you. That's willing to live by faith with you. That when you're in between that when you're in that dip, they ain't nervous, because you got what you've been doing right now. You can't make me doubt 37 years of living by faith. Not me. Not me. No, you can't make me doubt. I know too much about him. Come on, Ray. You can't make me doubt him. I
know too much.
I know too much. Watch it now. Because I have lived by faith. And ladies, if you're going to, this has been therapy for all of us, but if you're going to when you say you want a man of God, that's part of his MO, to live by faith. Absolutely. That's it, Lois. You got to be on one accord. You got to be on one accord. You got to be in harmony, that you're believing God with him and not aggravating and saying, so what we going to do about this? What we going to do? No. You in faith with him. Now, we're not talking about foolishness. Fred Price had a book, Faith, Foolishness, or Presumption. No, we ain't talking about that. We're talking about pure faith. Pure faith. And that's what the gentleman, Roger, can't tell you how he's made it through COVID this season. All he know is that every now and then, Frank, a dirty bird comes by.
The dirty bird.
That God used the dirty bird, the raven, to come by and bring a little water. Y'all ain't saying nothing.
Yeah.
And some weeks on a Monday night, this is the dirty bird.
Come on.
Absolutely.
And when the dirty bird, when the dirty bird runs out, then you got to switch to the brook. You got to switch to the widow woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. For some of us, y'all ain't saying nothing.
Yeah. Come on, Bishop.
It's our ministries. God gives us God, and that's why you can't have nobody in your life. That's why some people never marry, because they'd rather be happy alone and have what they need than to have somebody to mess with their cadence. Their cadence. It's a cadence. It's a cadence. It's a cadence. Bishop Walker talked about that when he first took over folk gospel. He said, when I used to go spin every Saturday, well, just about every day of the week, I would spin, and my instructor would tell him, "Come on, get with the cadence, turn the thing." It's a cadence, and we all be doing the same cadence. That's what we need in the marriage. That's what we need in the relationship, that we all in the same cadence. And for me, I almost spoke in tongue, Perry.
Come on.
Me at this point, I'd rather be by myself than for somebody to mess up my cadence. And it ain't just about money. Frank, come in here. Come in here. I need Baptists. I need Baptists. A charge to keep I have.
Ha!
A God to glorify. Another, I got a charge.
I got a charge.
Like Miles Monroe, I want to die empty. I want to die. Don't you hit that chord, Frank? I know you. I want to die. I want to die empty, where there's nothing left in me, and I just need somebody that's not going to irritate that, but celebrate that.
Ah!
I don't need to irritate that. So tonight, I've been itching to do this. I've been itching to do this because tonight, this ain't about the show. This ain't about, I'm led of God tonight. This ain't about the show. That's why I've been irritated, because I just been aggravated, because I don't want nobody to take it the wrong way, because I feel a God moment. And I ladies and gentlemen that's watching, ladies and gentlemen, I feel the energy of faith in the house tonight. That's what we've been talking about tonight. We were going to talk about Marlon Wayne, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about him being in love with his mom and all that. That ain't what God wanted. Frank, thank you for your question, because it took us a whole, and you didn't even have that plan. That's when the Spirit of God is moving.
Absolutely.
So tonight, I want those of you that are watching, thank you, Shira. You gave $100 already. Thank you, brothers that already gave. But I want everybody. I know it's week 50.
5. It's really week 55. I just checked. I apologize.
Oh, it is 55.
Yes, sir.
You know what I was about to say? I don't care if it's week 54, but the Lord told me to ask for a $55 seed.
Wow.
And it means double grace, double favor. It ain't got nothing to do with the weeks. It has to do with the faith seed tonight. What do you believe in God for? What are you trusting God for? Some trust in horses, some trust in cattle. But we will remember that the name of the Lord is a strong tower. I don't mean to preach.
Preach, please.
What I hear tonight is not just about relationship. It is about you having faith. And ladies, Father, I pray for every woman that is believing God, for a man of God, that their faith will be tonight as they give, that their faith would be taken to another level, that they will be ready, that the man that is praying for them and they're praying for the right man at the same time, he will already be charged with faith. Faith, God kind of faith, real faith, not hooking and crooking, but faith. I pray for them now. I pray for them now. I encourage these brothers tonight. I pray for them now that are younger than me, that they will live by faith. They will never want, they will never lack nothing. We pray it now. I want you to get the seed. Melinda, put the other thing up. Put the other thing up. Put the other thing up. The bigger giving. The bigger giving. I want them to be able to see it. I want you to go to $ Greg Davis 10. I'm going to bless the brothers. Don't worry about that. But tonight, I want those of you that would stand with a seed of 55. There are 5 of you that can give 155. This is a seed of faith. And when you drop the seed, and I might say, when you drop the seed, I want you to say faith. This is a faith seed. Flood it now. Come on, $55. This is my faith. My faith looks up to thee, O Lamb of Calvary. God, increase my faith that I'll be ready for the man of God that you have already ready. I got to have faith before I get to him. I can't have faith when I get to him. I can't have faith. I can't learn faith when I get to him. I already want to be a woman of faith. So God, as I sow this seed of $55, double grace, double favor, do it now. Do it. Sow the seed. Say done. Say done. As you're giving, say done. All the giving ways, all the ways to give is there. Thank you, Erica Harrison. Thank you. Thank you, Erica Harrison. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Shannon Moss. Thank you so much. Shira, thank you what you gave. Hallelujah. But I want everybody that will sow that seed. Sow that seed. Sow that seed. Tiffany Garth, double grace. Double grace. Courtney Anderson, 55, faith. Sow that seed tonight. This ain't about the show and what number it is. I didn't even know it, but the Lord spoke to me 20 minutes and said, I know it's week 54, but you asked for 55. And then Broderick had messed up and with the number, because he's the number keeper. But I know what God said. If you've never given before, I want you to give that double grace tonight. And it is so, Christopher. You're right. And it is so. And it is so. And it shall be no otherwise. And it is so. And it shall be no. Stephanie Bruce, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the seed tonight. Hallelujah to the Lamb of God. Match your faith. As Perry said, mirror your faith tonight. Come on. Come on. So thank you, Shaniqua Scott. Thank you, probably such a great supporter. Thank you. Thank you. Come on, y'all. Come on. There are some of you, the Lord has instructed you to give more, to give it. This has been a ministry tonight, not just a show, but it's been ministry. It went a different way. I promise you, we were going to talk about compromise. We're going to talk about other stuff. And I talked to Joe before this thing, and I heard noise in the background, and I just thought he was talking. He said, tell her to send me the thing tonight. I said, Joe ain't getting on. But he had to get on because he had a testimony tonight. Because he lives by this also. He lives by this also. You ain't got no 9-to-5ers on here. You ain't got nobody is a 9-to-5er. There's nothing wrong with it. Let me say that again. I need you all to sow tonight. I need you all to sow 55, 55, 55. Come on, sow that seed tonight. Believe God. Believe God, you'll be established. Believe his prophet. Renee Jones, thank you so much. Such a great supporter and follower. Thank you so much. Prophet Perry, you want to say anything? Or Prophet Claiborne, either one of y'all.
Go ahead, Prophet Claiborne.
I'm telling you where this went, Prophet Perry. Tonight, I did a Zoom call before I came in here.
Thank you, Stephanie Edwards. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. And what the Lord kept saying was the shifting of the atmosphere from people who, so Joe kept talking about world changes, but that's what I kept telling them, that God was using a different group of people now. And he was using people that would step out into a place that was unusual. And I kept telling them, I said, people picked on Peter, but what happened to the other ones that sat there? They couldn't understand this step out. They couldn't understand this move of God. And I'm telling you, when people trust God to this level, you're going to see something. I know that Frank said it, it may be for us, but you know what I heard, Frank, prophetically? That there are some people that needed to hear our stories because they've been wanting to step out. I'm sorry, Prophet Perry. They've been wanting to step out and did not know what it looked like. It's one thing to read about it, Joe. We read about it, Genesis to Revelation, but to actually say, I've been watching these men. I know they don't know us personally, but they feel like they know us. I know them, and I can actually put my finger on people who's doing it. Not just, I know what Paul did. I know what Peter did, but these men are doing it. And God is telling you that the seed that you sow is getting ready to catapult. Some of y'all been waiting to leave your job. Some of y'all been waiting to walk out and step out into your business. They've been waiting for the book to come. It's right there. And tonight, the Lord spoke to me prophetically that what happened tonight was to shift some other mindset of people who are watching. They thought they came in here for a relationship, but I got a feeling, Bishop going to get some testimony of some people who said, Bishop, I needed that extra push. And hear what the Lord is saying. That there is about 10 of y'all that if y'all would try, well, I'm sorry, y'all know how I gave some time, probably, that the Lord said there's about 10 of y'all that if you would trust God with 155. Why 155, prophet? Because that 100 seals that isn't complete, I'm completing what the Lord is going to do. There is 10 of y'all, if you would jump out there right now, don't think about it, don't question it, write the check right now and say, I'm moving it, because the Lord is saying, this is for you. You needed to hear all these men say what it takes to do and trust God and faith in God. And the Lord said, Bishop, more than you can imagine is going to happen tonight. Not because you can imagine, but the Lord said, I want to show you that what I promised to do for you is going to be even greater than this. And God is doing it tonight. This is the word of the Lord that the Lord spoke to me.
You know, Forbes, the world-renowned global media source that focuses on business and investing and technology and entrepreneurship, leadership, all the above, they've coined this statement called entrepreneurial faith, where they say that an entrepreneur have to have faith. Isn't it amazing how a third party don't even believe like we believe speaks of faith? Forbes says in order for us to tap into the level of success that we think we should have, that we know we should have, we have to have conviction. We have to have action. You have to understand it. So I'm telling you tonight, this ain't no hocus pocus. This is strictly off script. This is really the Lord troubling the water for you. And when you begin to sow and believe God, that 55, that 150, whatever level you're giving on, I'm telling you, it is impossible not to see God work. You know, growing up, we would always say, Frank, you can't beat God's giving, no matter how hard you try. You know, and I live that. We all live this thing called faith. There are individuals watching right now that, you know, you're trying to even start your business. You're even trying to start your realm. You're trying to understand. You're trying to support your significant other's business. You're trying to do whatever you need. I'm telling you, there's nothing that a seed can't do. Money answers all things. Money is an answer. You know, even when we can't even pray, you know, and that's one concept of that text. So I encourage you to sow in the level of faith. If you're giving tonight and you believe in God, don't give believing in God and you don't believe in you. I'll tell you, believe in you tonight while you're sowing that 55, that 155. Thank you, Bishop.
Thank you all so much, the two of you, for sharing. All I know is what I heard, and it's up to you to respond. The $55 tonight, double grace. Thank you, Tamara Lotz, Misha Brown, Stephanie Edwards, Renee Jones. There are, and I know Prophet Claiborne heard from God. I know there are those that are supposed to give that 155 tonight. And this is beyond just trying to raise money for the show. This is a seed of faith tonight. I live by seed time and harvest. You show me a seed, I'll show you a harvest. You show me a harvest, I'll show you a seed that was attached to the harvest. And so today, I pray that the Lord will move on you. There are at least 5 more of you that can give the 55 tonight. The enemy will always try to hinder you. Well, this ain't nothing but a men's show. I ain't going. No, if you didn't hear God as tonight, even the way the conversation went, it was a God thing, because this was not my own expertise of just being a great host. This was spirit led by God tonight. So sow that seed of 55. $ Greg Davis 10. PayPal, contact Greg Davis. All the giving is up there. Pastor Frank, you take it and close it how you want to close it, sir. You started this.
Man, I don't know how we got here. All I know is we got here by by the Spirit of God that led us in this direction tonight. I was ministered to tonight. Tonight, I feel like I got my why. I got my why tonight. I had been praying, asking God some things. Why this? Why that? Why this has not transpired yet? And tonight, out of all y'all mouths, I got my why tonight. Because it was gonna cost too much. It was gonna cost too much. I was gonna be too distracted because of where my heart is, because of how I love people, how I want to do right by people. So y'all can decode that how y'all want to, but I got my why tonight, and I'm grateful for that. I'm trying to quit. I don't want to talk too much, bitch. Cause I'm really full. I'm really drunk. And not with bourbon or gin or vodka. I'm serious, y'all. I'm really drunk, and I'm really fighting back tears tonight because I really felt God on this conversation tonight, and I feel God.
Wow. Let it flow, Frank.
Even now. No, this ain't. So Perry, you take us on out. I can't keep talking, Bishop. Seriously.
Yeah, again, Frank, I could feel God too, and I think it was just not, the statement "physician, heal yourself" tonight really was for me. I could really feel from each one of you all's conversation of also why I haven't done. It really hit me. And so again, I pray that while you all are sowing, while you're giving, that you will tap into this, because this is not just a conversation, but it's healing, it's therapy, it's ministry, it is strength, it's healing, it's wholeness in it. And so I encourage each one of you all to continue giving. And I want to say this. I want to thank Bishop Davis for being a voice that can hear God, because sometimes we can do things and we turn around and the physician gets sick. We forget that, sometimes physicians get sick, and we up here are physicians in our own right. So I want to thank you so much, Bishop Davis, for hearing God tonight with this. Again, you all continue sowing. We speak the grace of God over you, and Bishop Davis will say prosperity will build your borders. And we speak the word of God in your life now, Bishop Davis.
I'm done, y'all. We're going to leave the giving information up for those that didn't want to miss nothing you want to give. Do so. Marlinda, thank you, as always, for being all of our boss in the chat and private. But seriously, love all of you. Joe, good to see you tonight. Pastor Dwayne just landed, and so that's why he's not on. But you all continue to give. The giving information will be up in a few minutes. Love you all. Appreciate you all. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Bishop. Good night, brothers.